Hello guys, today we are going to learn about Python. So there are different concepts in Python and there are some different sub concepts in Python. So first we will see the basics concept. So in this video we are going to cover this whole basics concept. It is the small thing. Yeah. So what is a Python? So Python is a scripting language with applications in numerous areas including web programming, scripting, scientific computing and artificial intelligence. So nowadays Python has become more popular in the area of artificial intelligence. So Google and NASA are using mainly these Python. So this is there is a small difference. What we can say is Python is a simple programming language compared to other programming languages like Java. Because Python is processed at the runtime by the interpreter rather than compiling your program. So what happens here is when we come to Java, so this is a source code over here. This source code is converted into bytecode and this bytecode is executed and we'll get the output. But in Python or some other scripting languages, what happens here is the source code, when we run this source code, we'll generally get the output. There is no concept of the bytecode here. So the compilation time or the runtime of these scripting languages is very less compared to Java or C language. And one more advantages of this is the length of the program is 20 to 30% of the Java code. That is, the code is very less when compared to the Java. So that's why nowadays this Python has becoming more in real-time applications. So here we have seen that interpreter and compile concept here. So what are the main differences? So this is not a big important issue, but we need to know what is it. So interpreter is a translate the programs one statement at a time. So compiler transfers the entire program. So like in Java, the whole program is executed at a time, sorry, compiled at a time, and here in interpreter each line is executed after 100. After one line the next line is executed, after next line the another next line is executed. So uh, say suppose in the Java there is 10 lines of code and here also 10 lines of code, so obviously the execution time of the program in Java is less when compared to Python. So that is what here it in the second point I have mentioned. So here next the third point is no object intermediate object is generated. So see here in Java there is an intermediate object is created, but in Python there is no intermediate object. That's what I have mentioned in the third point. Continues until the first error is met. So the execution is continued until the first error is given here. So whenever the error is found, the execution is stopped and the error is placed in our script. It generates an error message only after scanning the whole program. Okay, so if this in this scenario the whole program is executed and the errors is mentioned at the last. So this is the applications like this interpreter is used in Python, Ruby, and this compiler is used in C, C++, like that. In this tutorials I am going to use 3.4 version. So see here I'll open python.org and at the time of doing this video it is Python 3.6.1, but I am using the 3.4 version. There is no much difference, so you can use the whatever the version you can use. So next, the first, after installing it, I'll tell about the first program. So you open this one. This is called Python IDLE, that is GUI. So what I will do is first program hello world. So now you can see here print hello world. So in Java we will write like system.out.println. So instead of that we can use print and write something whatever you want. So that one is printed. So instead of using single quotes We can also use double quotes, like, see here, now it is printed. Okay, now some simple operations, like, so if you give 2 plus 2, that will give us 4, and 4 minus 2, that will give us 2. 2 into 9, that will give us 18. 2 divided by 7, that will give us some quotient value. And if I say 7 divided by 0, then it will give 0 division error. So in Python, one more point to remember is, whatever the error name, it is mentioned at the last. So here in the last line, so you can see here in the last line it is mentioned as 0 division error. Okay, and you need to remember this, what is 0 division error, because some some interviews these questions are asked, so it's better to remember what is 0 division error. And you can see one more thing, like 10 divided by 2, that is 5.0. okay, next, see, next, float. Okay, so generally 5, it is an integer, but 5.0 is a float. Okay, so whatever the after the decimal points, if you write some digits, then that is called float. So when we are going to get float is, suppose, yeah, 8 divided by 5. So whenever we are using a division, we are going to get float, and whenever we operate using an float, then we will get the float. Say suppose 1 plus 2.0, also we will get as float. Yeah, that is about floats and another other numerical expressions. So you can see here the float is also produced. Let's go back to this. A float is also produced by running an operation on two floats, or the float and an integer. See here, 6 into 7.0, that will also give an float. 4 plus 2.58, that will also give as a float. So if you see this question here, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4.0 plus 5, so the result is obviously gonna be float, because here we are using 4.0, that is a float. Okay, next, coming to another topic, other numerical operations. So exponentials, you know, right? If you write something like 2 power 10, that is an exponential. So like that, here we are writing 2 double star 5, so that is 2 power 5, so which is the rising power of another. So if you write like this, 2 double star 5, then it will, that is 2 power 32. So 2 power 5, that is obviously 32. And if you write like this, 9 double star 1 divided by 2, so that is the square root value. So 9 square root of 9 is obviously 3. Okay, so that is about other numerical operations. And next, coming to strings. So if you want to use text in Python, you have to use a string. If your string is created by entering text between two single or double quotations mark, so okay, and when Python console displays a string, it generally uses single quotes. So what I would suggest is you to use the single quotes rather than using double quotes. It will also save some time. The denominator use it for, okay, it doesn't matter. So we'll just create some string code file change.co. Yeah, this is my website. You can see whenever you want. See, I am using the double quotes again. Code file change.co.in. See here, so Python is using the single quotes, that is what he is mentioning here. Say suppose if you write like this, print code for change, then see here there is no double quotes here, so don't in print double quotes doesn't going to be printed. So that is also one point you need to remember. And next, we'll move on to next point. some characters can't be directly used included as string. For instance, double quotes can't be directly included. Yeah. So what the point mentioning is, say suppose uh, yours is beautiful. Say suppose I am writing like this, you will get an error. See why? Because you are using a single quotes inside of a single quote. So how to avoid that error? Yours backslash sub backslash pen is nice. So here you are getting just a minute. So here you are getting where is it? Yeah, here you are getting the answer as yours pen is nice. So same with the double quotes. Kiran, say suppose Chinta. So now you can't get the output, you will get an error. So what you have to do is double quotes, sorry, double quotes Kiran space, okay, sorry, Kiran space backslash double quotes Kiran backslash. Now you will get error. Now you will get it. See here, Kiran. Okay. Now, yeah. There is another concept called new lines. So say suppose I want to print like this code. Okay. I want to print code for change in separate lines. How I can print it? Let us see. Code backslash n for backslash n change. Now we will see. Oh, sorry, there is a for code backslash n for backslash n. Okay. Let us use like this. Print code backslash n for backslash n change. Yeah, now it is printed code for change. Okay. Here we cannot use it like directly in the strings. So instead of like if you want to use it directly in the strings, what we can do is 3 strings code for change, again 3 quotes. Yeah. 2 3 code for 1 2 3. Yeah, now you can see here code for change. Okay, so what the point is here, so you can use 3 codes. So in between 3 codes, whatever you write, so those exact lines are printed. So instead of using backslash n, we can use this one. If you want to print any huge amount of text, it will be much easier. Yeah. Next, input and output. In Python you can use the print function to produce output. This displays the text representation of something in the string as I used previously. Say suppose print C for C. Now it is printed. So if you want to print any number, you can use also print number. Okay, so I have a question here. See, what is the output of the code? You can pause the video and you can think about it, and just I will explain it later. Now see here, print single quotes, print double quotes, print. So what the answer is? Yeah, this is the answer. So how it is, so this is obviously a print function. So instead of inside the print function, what we are writing is, this one is the text inserting in the quotes. So this obviously going to be converted into string. So this whole string is printed over here. To get input from the user into Python, just a minute. Yeah. To get input from the user in Python, you can use input function. This function prompts the user for input and enter the string. Okay, so input, enter a name. So you will get whatever the, if say suppose Kiran you have written, that one will be stored as a string. Say suppose if you want to store into the variable, next what you will write is x is equals to input, enter a name. Now it will obviously ask for enter a name. Next I will write Ramesh. Now see print x. Now it is printed as in the x variable, it is stored, and so that's why it is printing as Ramesh. So what we have completed until now is string input output. So these are all completed. So what is Python? As I have said, okay. Next, first program is print hello world. Next, simple operations are like 2 plus 2 4 minus 2 2 divided by 7 until these are simple operations. Next, floats. So 5 divided by 0, sorry 5.0 and 8 divided by 5 and 1 plus 1.25 is a float. So other numerical operations are like 2 double star 5 and 9 double star 1 divided by 2. Those are other numerical operations. And strings, so these are some strings. And simple input and output like print and input, so those are simple output and input. Next, thank you guys for watching my video. If you like my video, hit the like button and also share my video with your friends. For future videos like this, hit the subscribe button down below.